Okay. Okay. Can anybody hear me? Okay. I see one person here besides myself.
Recording in progress.
Well, there are 14 people here.
I guess he got stage fright. He saw 14 people and he said, no can do. His cat pawed the screen.
Don't know what to say because now I can see all of you. I've been trying to get in and it didn't work. Who sent me the link that I just got in by? Esselina?
Me? Yeah.
Okay.
Do I get any reward for that?
Yes, you do. I got to think about it for a while, though. What you get. You get to take over the group and be the lead.
No. No. I will-give your gift back to you.
Okay. Since I dropped what I had prepared, which wasn't much, let's just ask questions. Do you have any questions? Or do you have any questions about what you want answered? Adam, think of some terrific question that will entertain everybody here as I fumble around and try to explain it.
That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, can you handle it?
Let's see. What is the square root of pi over... No, that's too advanced. Let's see.
Don't be too clever now.
Okay. Will Vesselina ever get her doctorate or not?
That's problematic. We don't know yet. It depends on how long she intends to stay as a near graduate student, near doctor student. I figure she can last 6 or 7 years before she graduates.
Impressive.
Tom, do you have a question?
I'm just glad to see you today.
What?
I'm just glad to see you today. It brings a smile to my face.
Oh, good. What about you, Cassie? Anything? How's Ian?
I had to put him back in hospital because he was falling down, and falling down's not good when you've got a brain bleed. So he kept wanting to get up and walk on his own, and I couldn't be there all the time. So he's back in hospital, and he's in his own world mostly. Yeah. But there's moments.
How are you?
I'm okay. I'm trying to stay right here and now. And I'm doing pretty good at the moment. At this
Jay, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I just try to get a little closer to the gift of your grace and your love for us, to try to keep using it as a template for the mundane world. I feel a tremendous gift in bliss. I'm not saying that I'm blissful, I'm probably closer to a contentment, but I just, I don't want to spend too much time getting lost in what I expect to find, where I expect to go. I'd rather just be here and now, let most of the bullshit slip away. Try, as you've always said, put it down, let it go. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. It's so simple and so eloquent.
Yeah, it's also disappointing for most people.
Well, there's a tremendous power. There's a reservoir of power in Shakti. The life force is explosive. I feel it exponentially. I feel it. It walks me around the block. It sits me down and basically just allows me to try to go deeper, try to be closer to all of that exquisite silence that is just a cacophony of grace. So I'm done, but I love you. Thank you. And I'm glad you're here. You are my beloved.
Thank you. Jackson, what's up with you?
Hello? Hear me all right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, not much. I was contemplating something you said on Wednesday Satsang about how something along the lines of you have to give up attention, release attention, and it's kind of so counteractive to what I've always learned, that you need concentration and focus to be good at meditations. But yeah, I was just trying to let go of that attention and just sit. And I continuously, it feels like every 3 months I stumble upon something a little more deeper, and I'm like, this is a whole new world. This is great. I've found it. And then I just give that up, and then 3 months later it happens again, and just over and over. I just kind of want to, I mean, it's great each time, but I need to get past that for sure. It's nothing new to find.
How long are you giving yourself to get past it?
Sorry, what was that?
How long are you giving yourself to get past it?
Yeah, I guess it's also not bad thinking of some time in the future.
Just relax. You don't have to get anything. It'll come to you.
Definitely.
Mark, how are you?
I'm very good, of course. I'm sure we're all. I'm very concerned about Ian. I'm sure we all are. And Cassie, our wishes are, with you, or our caring is with you, or love is with you. Also, I just wanted to repeat something I asked you a few weeks ago, Edgy, which aligns well with what Jay and Jackson were talking about. And I asked you, what is the biggest hindrance in your experience for people that come here? What is the biggest thing that blocks them? And you said their expectations. Their expectations about what this should look like, what they should be feeling, all that stuff. So I mean, expectations is simply attaching to thought. Hope, expectation, it's always looking for the payoff in the future. The future, there is no future. It either happens or it doesn't, and it's always in the present. So I appreciated the clarity of your response, that letting go of expectations.
And letting go of desire for anything to change or to grow. That can result in peace. But you have to anticipate the sense of grief or boredom that comes with this realization that there's nowhere to go, nothing to do. You're not going to keep improving until you're president of the United States or premier of Russia or anything else like that. It doesn't work that way. Even to find a state where you think you've come to terms with spirituality and you finally know what it's all about, you got to let go of that and know nothing. Be dumb as a rock. Be dumb as a rock. And you know how hard that is to be dumb as a rock, especially if you're an intellectual. Michael, how are you?
Good.
Tell me about it. What have you been doing?
No, I'm not going to tell you about it. But, I'm good. Just messing around as usual. Little here, little there. I visit hell and heaven every day. So it's all good.
You're very descriptive. You write down to the details. Why don't you just say everything's fucked?
But it's not.
Okay. What's not fucked?
There's no such thing as fucked. Everything's good.
Okay. Vesselina, what's going on with you?
Well, right now. I was at the birthday party of
Which party?
Of a birthday party of my 5-year-old neighbor downstairs.
Did you find it intellectually challenging?
No. I talked with the mothers though, right? Like of the kids. But so I did a lot of talking and listening to other people talk, which is something I don't experience. I mean, I don't really. I'm most of the time I just am alone in the house. So I got a little sad, looking at people, talking to them, see how bad they actually feel underneath.
What did you find?
Underneath the normal.
What did you find?
Well, I don't know, the sadness of the human nature. How sad it is to.
You mean they were honest enough to tell you about how sad they felt?
No, they didn't. Some did for certain things, but no, they didn't tell me. I just that's the feeling I got. And yeah, some shared some problems, some fears, like for medical things too, like certain pains they have in their bodies and how much they're afraid of it. And yeah.
What about you? What about your sadness?
Oh yeah, my sadness is every day. Many hours a day. But at least, I know that I have it and I can sort of feel it. Even if I try to run away from it too, I'm more aware of it than.
What makes you sad?
My life, my situation that I'm trapped in, that I stopped myself from graduating, and that makes my life very stuck because I'm not really going anywhere and doing anything in my life. I mean, I'm not a student anymore, but I'm not working, and I don't know what I want to do in my life. I have no goals. No.
What does it take to finish up school?
Well, it doesn't take that much, it takes studying, right? Reading the things that I'm supposed to read, but I don't do it. And I'm not serious about it. I'm not dedicated to it because I feel like I want to run away every time I have to face that problem.
Which problem specifically?
Well, not to pass my exam, not to want to make enough effort to finish.
What do you want to do? That being a student blocks. Is there anything you want to do? You want to kill Putin?
Sure. Yeah. I'll send him a curse.
Do you want to come to the United States?
Sure, yeah, I would like that. I would like to visit you.
What stops you from finishing the last two classes?
I don't know. I just think half the time I think I'm just too bad for that. Like I'm not good enough to do it. Half the time I just don't want to be somebody else to take the decisions for me, the way it has been in my life. My parents have certain desires, what should I do and how I should be, and I try to I don't know what word I want to use, so I do what they say, and then let's say I start a job as a doctor. Some other doctors are going to tell me what to do, what to think. The thing is, they can tell me what to do. Of course, I'm not prepared. I don't have the experience, but I just don't want other people to tell me what is important for me and to control my life.
What is important for you? Freedom?
Yeah, and I want to be happy, and I want to be true to myself, and to who I am as a person. And I don't think that will happen when I start working with doctors, because they simply don't care about what I care for. They don't care about this inner life that I'm living or having.
Good. Can you show me your inner life? Demonstrate it.
I don't know how.
Tell me about your inner life. How do you characterize it?
Well, I don't know. I just feel what's going on around me, and feel the emotions or feelings or certain ties that go inside my body and are connected
Certainly.
to
What in your body?
like movements or feelings that I have.
Can you feel the energy related to your body? Your own internal energy?
Yeah.
What does it feel like right now, if you can describe it? It may be hard to describe.
I just feel a swirl of like a circle in my abdomen.
How is it going around? Clockwise or counterclockwise?
I don't know.
Take a look.
I guess clockwise.
And what is clockwise? When you watch it, what's happening? What's turning around?
Well,
the energy field around your stomach itself is turning around.
Well, now I don't feel like, now that I, try to imagine it, I feel it like that. Yeah, I just feel like a bubbling. It's like a sensation that, around my gut, and I just feel some source, some power there, and like a light feeling and light.
Can you actually see light there, or is it a feeling of feeling light?
I don't know. I'm afraid. I'm too scared that, if I'm gonna give the right answer, and I can't really answer. I kill it because I'm afraid I'm not giving the correct answer.
Don't worry about that. What we're talking about is you. There's no right or wrong answer. We're trying to find out from you what you are. So only you know that. Who are you? What are you? What's in your heart? What's in your heart?
Well, right now I just feel good because, you make me focus on better things. I'm not so much in my mind and my thinking, and I don't feel like I have a problem right now.
Do you feel the energies inside your body, though, in your chest and your gut?
Yeah.
What are they like? Describe them. Are they up and down? Do they swirl around? Do they go in all different directions?
Well, what I feel overall is like in my heart and my gut. When I feel things in my heart, I normally feel a blockage there. And I think I'm worried. I'm just worried overall.
Over what's going to happen to you in the future.
Yeah.
Are you going to be able to graduate from school?
Yeah.
Or are you going to hang on to your non-graduate status as long as possible so you don't have to start your regular adult life?
Yeah.
Which is it? What's your blockage? What's holding you back? Is there an idea in there?
Oh, I'm afraid. Yeah, I'm afraid that the people that don't understand those things will take that away from me.
Take what away from you?
Well, my connection to myself.
I like your answers. Mark, tell me about you. Where are you?
Right now, I feel like this bliss. It was stronger earlier, but it's still there. It feels like a steady state kind of blanket of euphoria. And, I don't tend to feel it in my chest or my heart. I tend to feel it in my extremities, my face, my hands, my feet, especially near the insteps. I used to talk about the insteps a lot. I'm finding there are parts of the body where the energies are more vivid or seem to be coming in or seem to be stronger. But I also have this experience where I just abide in my bliss, and sometimes it often recirculates itself. I can recirculate the bliss, and it gets to the point where it can get like 10, 20, 30, like really extremely vivid and extremely powerful. Do you have that experience?
Sure.
Okay. I meant to ask you about it because a few years ago, the energies would appear somewhere in front of me, and I would connect with like this energetic structure that appeared in front of me, and I would get energized. Now it's all in me. It's all coincident with my body mind. With it's like it's no longer detached.
Okay.
So
describe it. Describe what you're talking about in personal terms. What you're feeling and what it feels like. You don't have to use personal.
I just feel like I'm my body is infused with this euphoria. It's not always very strong, but it can easily get strong. It also, I just feel like everything is one. Like I feel like I feel like everything is one. Like I'm one. Like there's no other. It's hard to explain, but the bliss is the most obvious thing.
Do you feel like you're the center of existence?
Yes. Yes.
How does that?
Feels great. Like you talk about the peace, you talk about the spaciousness, you talk about, and the peace, once it's continuous for a long period of time, gives way to, for me, stronger and stronger feelings of euphoria, or just like a nice average feeling of euphoria like I'm feeling now, which is kind of like being on an antidepressant, but it's not. It's just natural.
And it does blow up at times till it's 10 or 100 times stronger?
Frequently. Like because I wanted to. Because I deepen into it. It doesn't happen on its own. It doesn't happen in like when I don't want it to. But yeah, and so I think that the more in depth I go into it, the more vivid it gets. It's like it's recharging, and it's like it's always it's recharging. So even when I'm not going, intentionally going into it, there's like a flame that continues. There's the energy continues, and I just find it's like it becomes it's pretty much effortless at this point. Like there is nothing else to do but to abide there. You've talked about that recently also. But it's really hard to talk about. I get to a point. I think the biggest thing that I want to tell you is that what I was trying to say earlier is that I've really the unicity you talk about, like everything is one, everything is flowing like a certain, I don't know, it just, I don't know what the words are, but I used to be a little bit out of the body. Now it's all in the body and it's all the way it should be. And I realized the way it used to be was kind of like a stage along the way. And it was the best I could do at the time, and it was fine at the time, but this is obviously better, and it's self-sustaining. It's self-sustaining,
and you're at,
so I don't...
Sorry? You're at the center of your own experience now.
Yeah, like experientially, yeah.
You're the host.
Yeah, like I feel, okay, so you just brought up something else. I feel like I have all the tools I need. I don't feel like there's anything missing. I don't feel like there's anything I need to understand or to acquire. I'm set. This, like just keep doing this. Just keep enjoying this. Just keep living. And I've been here over 6 years. So I started around the summer of 17. So thank you, Edgy. It's really hard to talk about this, especially for me. Not because I don't feel it, but because it's hard for me to articulate it. But
well, it's hard for anybody to articulate this kind of stuff because we're not raised to talk about anything subtle inside of ourselves except I love you, I hate you, or I feel sad, or I feel depressed, or something like that. Very generalized. But to put what's going on inside of you in your own terms and human terms that can be described is really difficult. You have to hunt for words and concepts to try to relate to others who and what you are. Jay.
The thing I'm having the most difficulty with was something you spent the hour a week ago Sunday, since I missed Wednesday because I thought it was Thursday. But what you said was to try to stop thinking and let the mind go down into the heart. And it seems to be like the first rung of the ladder. I almost don't think it's going to happen in this incarnation, but I stopped thinking about it. My mind just walks around by itself and chatters. It's just bullshit, just on and on. I try to slow it down, but that is so profound happening. And I don't know that there's there seems to be no guidelines or anything along the way, but it just ain't happening. And I don't, I know the terrain, I know the words. I read Robert Adams. I read this guy Wei Wu Wei, which means I probably read too much and think too much. But the rest of the time, I come back to what I said earlier. I just put it down, let it go. It's like a mosh pit of spirituality. Fall back into it. Just simply put it down. Stop. I mean, the gift of pure awareness is that it's vouchsafed to us now. We are what we're looking for. I don't have to look for anything or find anything. I am that. I don't know it. I mean, I know the words. I haven't experienced it, but I understand, and I understand the absolute majesty of it. And you bring me to the precipice of it every single time. So I want you to know that you really are God incarnate in a way that I know, because I've read a lot and I understand what I've read, and the words are incredibly powerful, but just as I said, I stopped auditioning gurus when I found that will always, you're just I'll say it again, you're my beloved. And I will keep doing this, however many laps around, however many journeys, whatever, however many incarnations. Because everything, there's something incalculably perfect about that awareness. And again, it's our gift. It is what I am now. And simply I am that. So yeah, I'm done. But I spent that whole song trying to work around that, and almost every day since. And that's my consternation is more focused on that, and maybe too focused. But I still think that's imperative to sort of get on the first rung of the ladder. And yeah.
Forget all that.
Yeah.
Nowhere to go, nothing to do. All that you have to do is shut the fuck up and feel yourself. And it's really definitive to make that transition between thinking and feeling. Feeling. Whenever you can grab onto a feeling, grab it, because you want to get out of that intellectual space. That's thinking and concepts, because those don't really describe the world. They're common human terms used to describe generalized experience, but not spiritual experience. Our society hasn't developed any adequacy to describe what's going on inside of ourselves. Even the psychologists that we go to, they don't do anything in depth, really. The kind of therapy I did with my psychotherapist was more in depth, but it was transitioning to doing nothing and just being in yourself at rest. That's all that it ended up after 8 years of psychotherapy. Was a long period afterwards that I felt okay, but I had no idea what was going on. What helped me most was just to shut up and be aware of myself as much as possible, whatever that means, which usually means to, at first at least, to be intimately aware of what's going on inside of myself and where that inside is. And for me, that inside myself means everything that's going on inside my body and my mind is located like in a global tube around the center of my physical being. It's not my physical being, but it's approximately in the same place. And what I find going on in there is, after my mind stops, what's there is kind of formless, but it's powerful. It's formless because I'm no longer using words to describe what's going on inside of me. I have an impression of what's going on inside of me, and I just rest in that impression of what's going on inside of me. Sometimes it can be love, but mostly it's a feeling of energy or of pressure inside of me, of my life force distributing itself through my body. And I can watch my body, and I can watch the energies inside my body, and I can watch how those energies are influenced by what others say or what I think. But I've gotten away from thinking and describing it, because there is no words that will describe it. Words will not describe it because the words don't exist yet in our language commonly to describe the kind of things that we can find inside of ourselves and to classify them and to say what can be done with them. Just don't name them. Just feel them. And that's the other important thing, to go from thinking to feeling, and to, if possible, stop thinking altogether and just feel and learn how to describe what you're feeling in a way from the thinking mind, which is not that easy. It is not that easy because the world of feeling is very different from the world of thinking. Cassie, what about you? How are you doing, given your situation?
I actually I woke up 1 a.m. this morning, and I just thought, that's it, I can't lie here with this worry going on. And so I just got up and I listened to chants until satsang, and I got really quiet, and I felt like I was being helped. Like I really felt like I was being helped. And I feel I feel more optimistic that I can actually get still, even in this situation that I'm in with Ian, that there is a possibility that I could become very quiet with him, and that would be awesome. I would love that. Okay. Yeah. I'm good. I think at the moment anyway, yeah.
What is his prognosis at this point?
A pretty bad brain bleed. They tell me they don't really know how it's going to work out until the swelling has gone down in his brain.
Are they giving medications to help ease the swelling?
Well, I'm not sure what they're giving him, because I thought they weren't giving him anything, but then I saw a doctor giving him an injection yesterday, and I didn't even know what it was. There might be something they're giving him a sedative, because he gets quite agitated at times, and they might be giving him a sedative for that. He seems to get quite, after I don't know, he gets more reactive in the afternoons, and so I don't know, maybe he's just the way it works when you have brain damage. They do say that it's very normal for him to be very confused and not really know how time is, who is, like he's he doesn't know where he is, and he thinks he's at an airport or something sometimes instead of a hospital. And he thinks he's going home, and I can't take him because he's not able to be left, because he'll just get up and fall over. So we can't have him fall. So I have really no idea what the end prognosis for Ian's going to be. It's totally up in the air, and I really would like to just leave it that, because I don't think it's a great idea to have any idea about it anyway, because it's just putting something in stone, and I don't want to do that. So I want to let him be free.
Yeah, and yourself too.
And me too, yeah, for sure.
Tom, what about you? How do you describe how you're feeling?
Well, I found out about a year ago that I have a disease I didn't have. And I've been improving on medication. Then I found that I had some depression that's related to the disease, physiologically. So I started medication for that, and had side effects. Those side effects have receded now, so I have a huge amount of relief from that. I'm more optimistic, more joy in life. Still working part-time, which everybody around me says is odd, but they understand, because it's very nourishing to me to do that. So I value the opportunity to join these each Sunday, and I really appreciate this.
Good. Well, here's where it's at. insofar as it's possible, try to become stupid as you could be. Let all of that education, all of that knowledge, all of that security that you know this or you know that, leave you. And instead of just stop and feel what's going on inside of you. Feel especially your heart, your chest, your face, but above all, your arms and shoulders. Now, many of you feel energies in your body as well as feeling your physical body without energies. Most of us feel the body without energies. But the deeper you get into self-investigation, soon reveals our own energy bodies to our experience. And it's like living in a hollow earth where there's stuff going on all around us. And some of it feels like it's in us, and some of it feels like it's outside of us. And sometimes it's hard to determine which is which. But what you can do is, as often as possible, sit, and at some point when you feel a little more relaxed, just stop thinking. And see how long you can hold that non-thinking. Don't push too hard, because it can become an obsessive thing that goes on for months or years in you. But check yourself. Check what your body feels like and where it feels like. Can you feel your legs? What do you feel in your legs? Can you feel energies moving in your legs or percolating there without moving? You can do that with your body too. The energies are all over inside your body. But you have to become sensitive to them, which means basically become nonverbal and switch into feelings. At first, it'll be very uncomfortable for you, because you'll feel I'm doing something wrong, or how come I don't feel these energies inside of me? And then that you don't, you'll feel like it's disappointing. There's something wrong with you, or you're going to have to wait 1,000,000 years before you can feel energies inside yourself. But best of all, just relax and wait. With a mind that is not looking for anything. You're not looking to understand or to be identified with it. Just watch whatever arises in your inner experience. And that what arises is not words, but experiences that are wordless. In a sense, you become like a ghost watcher. You're looking for spirits inside, but that's an exaggeration. You're not looking for spirits. You're looking for something like spirits, which is a personal experience of your own energetic being as an acquaintance at first, before you can submerge into those energies. At first, they'll seem like strangers to you. When you first sit and try to get subjective without using your mind, without directing your attention, just letting it float where it may, and trying to get rid of the thoughts in your mind. And instead of thoughts, feel the feelings in your body and where they take you. What does feeling your stomach mean? What does it feel to feel energies in your chest or around your heart? For some, they can feel their heart energies in a very short while. They can feel quite ecstatic. But then you have to open yourself to all the different energies in your body, not just in your heart area. And you'll feel all kinds of things over the period, but usually nothing too revolutionary. The inner world is slow to make agreement with your interest in finding out what you are on a deeper level inside. So there is something you could call an energy body inside of you, which is the whole ball of internal feelings and energies within ourselves. And these can take many, many forms, sometimes rising energies along the spine, sometimes swirling and balled energies in the chest. All throughout the chest, you'll feel electric. And they're not exactly moving anywhere. They're just staying there. But they're almost always blissful. And you can be taken by the bliss, and that's what spirituality is about, is to lose hold of the mundane in your life and to feel something extraordinary. Feel what a deeper life is than the one you've been living. A deeper life than going to school and going to work, or even sitting around practicing various forms of meditation. Because forms of meditation are bullshit. What you should be focused on is, what are you? What is your experience here and now? And never go too far from that. And your experiences will change. And you'll change, and you'll have more and more understanding and deeper understanding, because you'll watch things change, and your ideas about what's happening will change until you get to the point where you don't think about it anymore. You just experience it. Now, there's a danger that goes along in here, which is to feel that inner world doesn't matter either. Just as the outer world doesn't matter, the inner world doesn't matter. But the inner world is something you've buried. And it's mostly buried because our educational system robs the inner experience of any value. We aren't told to value subtle experiences inside. We're told to manipulate objects and manipulate people, or to ingratiate yourself to people, and to deal with the external world, not our internal world. So actually, we're sort of blind to who we are, and we're fucking around trying to understand the world outside without understanding ourselves. And that's a long, hard thing to do. And the other thing that's its problem is we don't have words for what goes on inside. So we have to use elaborate stand-ins, trying to somehow explain our new experiences to other people who may have had them or may not have had them, and to see if somehow you can click with them. Anyway, it is a long journey, but it's ever increasingly satisfying, because you become more and more settled in yourself, not looking for anything anymore, not searching for anything anymore. not searching for truth, not searching for a guru, not searching to understand how the world operates or we operate. We just are there, observing without any intent to do anything, to learn anything, to discover anything, and instead just to be in what is just being like. And it's very difficult to explain because that inner world is far more subtle than anything we deal with in the external world. And we don't have words to express it, so we have to take words from our exploring the outer world experience and apply it somehow to the inner world. And that's really, really hard, probably impossible, until we spend some time as a group articulating our inner experience and giving it words, giving it concepts to go by. And nobody's sought to do that yet. All the teachers I know, they don't have common teachings, common words for the inner world or beingness or the inner life or energy states. And there are some kinds of things in your inner world that you'll never experience that other people do, and vice versa. So you don't take it as a measure of your failure if I or other people describe things in our inner worlds that you don't experience or you don't understand. Because you probably, if you are looked inside yourselves and try to describe some of the things that happen in you, couldn't do it either. There's no learning that goes on here. It's a struggle. It's always a struggle to make clear to others where you are when you yourself have no idea who or what you are. You're just describing your beingness from different points of view. By that I mean what time of the day it is, what month it is, what year it is. It's always changing inside of you. You're not like your environment. You're a ball of change inside of you. There's no stability there. The stability isn't really stable. The stability of a steady inner life, it's there, but it's different from a steady outer life. And it's kind of hard to describe it. But learn to dwell in your own innerness without trying to understand it. Just feel it. Feel it. And we come here to begin articulating those various things inside of ourselves by listening to what I'm saying, what you listen to, what other people's experiences here with meditation and being in group. And it can help you articulate for yourself who and where you are until you don't need to articulate anymore who or what you are. And you can just be without doing anything anymore. You don't have to understand yourself. Chris, what say you about who you are? Can you relax a little more? It's a joke.
I don't know. I've had a couple interesting experiences of late. The meditating and I have an active mind, but it's the interesting thing I think is I'm seeing it more and watching it more and letting it be. and do whatever it wants and not think it's bad or wrong or fight it or struggle, which is what I used to do. I would try to, I'd come here and you'd say, lose your mind. And I'd say, God damn it, I gotta lose my mind. And the last few weeks, or a couple of, I've just been relaxing to the point where I just watch it. Literally watch it as part of a bigger self. And what's amazing is, as soon as, if I'm able to do that, it deflates and it becomes less and less, and it becomes more and more just a quieter presence. It's always chattering. It's always got something to say. There's different kinds of things. Some things like, you should water the plants. That's kind of easy. But the more subtle, the more energetic things like, you're doing it wrong, or you should be better, or judgments. But I've gotten some interesting experiences where I can watch those happen without trying to change them, and without judging or interfering. And like I said, it's like magic. They just deflate. Their energy goes way down, and I'm happy and calm, and I can just let them be, let them do their thing, and they don't matter. I sometimes can disassociate or just watch them so passively that I don't actually, at some point I even stop watching them passively. They're just, I can every once in a while say, oh, my mind's still there. Oh, it's still doing something. But I'll be just doing other things. When I say doing, like you say, nothing to do and nowhere to go, I'm feeling like nothing to do is not necessarily just sitting in a chair. Nothing to do can mean I'm doing things, but I'm not doing them. They're just happening. And it's not my mind telling me to do things, it's just me spontaneously doing things. And that's been an amazing experience these last few weeks. I get a few days of that, and then it's like, I try not to try to do it, and I try not to do it. But it comes, it comes and goes. But when it does happen, the calmness and the peace is so wonderful. But when it goes away, when I'm not successful in doing, I don't like the word successful. When that doesn't happen, when I'm more in my mind, I feel what you are describing is this trap. These walls come around me, and I lose that connection to my larger self. Like Mark was talking about, feeling the oneness. That all goes away, and I get sucked into this little tiny mind prison. But when that happens, I don't want to fight that either, and say, like I said, it's wrong, it's bad. It just, I guess the thing I'm doing more is just to let whatever happens, as passively as I can. And another thing that has been exposed of late is, sometimes I wonder, I feel, is this all my mind doing all of what I just described? Like, when we talk about watch your mind, who's watching my mind? When we say relax, who's relaxing? And I sometimes like Chris is doing all this stuff, and I get kind of confused, and I think, is it just my mind confusing me about who am I? What am I? What am I doing? Cassie, I mean no offense here, but when I hear your stories about Ian, and they trouble me, in that I feel for him and you, but I also wonder how much of what I'm experiencing is this identity Chris. And I hear you talking about Ian not being Ian, and I think, what does that mean, Ian not being Ian, or Chris not being Chris? Who am I? Am I a Chris that's trying to make all this happen, and I have this construct of a Chris in which spirituality exists? Or I'm not free of that. And I get kind of balled up in identity of am I just bullshitting myself and I'm just like, this is all Chris playing this game? Or what's going on? So I'm in a lot of different experiences lately. And it's all because I think we're coming here and all these things are exposed, like you just said. I never felt like this before. It was I was in a trap of my mind, and all these things are happening, and sometimes I have no idea what's going on. I don't know who I am. I can be in peace or I can be troubled when I don't know who I am and what's going on. So that's I'm all over the place, Ed. I don't know what's going on.
Very good. No, that's good that you are there. You're doing well. Don't be in a hurry to wrap it up. You'll find that there are progressive waves of letting go involving different parts of our beingness from time to time. And at one place, we'll be letting go of something explicit. Other times, we'll be discovering our body is separate from us and our sense of self is separate from us. And we're watching the whole thing from a point of view where there's nothing. There's no feeling good, feeling bad. It's an indifferent and totally, what can I put it? Totally without thought beingness. Thought puts everything in its place. But thoughtlessness, there's no place for anything, and yet we're experiencing it. Maybe not in the same way, not serially, but as a global experience that constantly changes. And I can tell you one thing that does happen to you is a sense of power. You feel all of these energies that you've never felt before. And they rise up within you. And they can fill you, but after a while, you can feel them deeper and deeper. And deeper and more powerful. And sometimes the feeling of power is overwhelming. And you just exult in your attaining powerfulness. But it's not you anyway, it's the feeling of powerfulness. You disappear. You, sometimes after a while, you have a lot of experiences, but you've lost interest in finding out what that means, or there isn't some rhyme or reason to it. But you don't figure things out anymore. You just shut the fuck up and experience them. And they go through you. They go through you. All kinds of miracles go through you. I guess that's how some people can feel the divine working within them and around them. And that's how it feels too. The divinity of those energies, that power, the life force, has this divine aspect of subtlety and power. And when you know that power, Jesus, you're not afraid of anything. This whole area, is mystical because you can't describe it. You can't sequence it and say it's going to happen X, Y, and Z because it never does. For each person, it's a different exposing their inner world to themselves when the inner world has been hidden and now becomes the primary state of your existence. And you lose interest and lose hold of the external world. feel as if increasingly the external world doesn't have any meaning for you anymore. You have no desire to understand it or to triumph in it and get certain things done or interested in the external world. You just let the world alone, and the world begins to let you alone. And when things do happen to you, they don't pile up like they used to. They're like a boat on a long trip around the world, maybe. Visits one port, and then another port, and another port, and just takes it all in without taking anything with him. You become dumb as a rock, and that rock swims through time, sort of going through all of these experiences. And there's no meaning to the experiences outside of the fact that you're witnessing them from the outside now, even though they're inside of you. But you're separately aware of them because your universe has expanded to include things going on inside your body and things going on inside of your body, your mind, that are now more interesting and prominent to you than anything that happened to you externally a year ago or 5 years ago. From my point of view now, nothing is happening. It's just noise. It's not very real. It doesn't seem real to me. Nothing seems that real to me. Those powerful body experiences seem real to me, and they're very interesting to feel, but that's all they are. They don't teach me something about human nature or the future of mankind or of my own self. It's just that you've entered a new world of exposure to and immersion in inner experiences. How does that sound to you, Mark?
Edgy, I really think you were very late coming here, but I think this is perhaps your best satsang in a long time, and it sounds great.
Thank you.
We
Is anybody
have to post it. Sorry, Edgy.
Yeah, it's recorded.
Okay. You want to send me the address and I'll put them on my channel. If I can figure out how to do that.
Bassie's recording it.
Anybody. Because you can't send me the whole thing. You can only send me a link to where it's on, either on your own computer or somewhere else, like YouTube or however you're watching this. Anyway, have a fun Sunday. Just lay back now and relax. Bernadette, relax. Relax. Eddie, relax. Relax, Jackson. Fall into yourself. Adam, fall into yourself. Jay, just be yourself and be aware of yourself. I love you all. I'll see you hopefully next Wednesday. Bye-bye.
Recording stopped.